Hi everybody, I'm Tara from Crooked Row, and today we're in the greenhouse. I came out here to go ahead and start cleaning up in here, and winter time clean out is a big deal. We started yesterday, actually Sayla and I did, and we got a lot done. It's a disaster in here. But as I was cleaning in here, I started thinking that this is a video that I kind of wanted to do for a while. And I quit my job, and I actually quit my job a year ago, and I was gonna talk about that right away, but I thought that I wanted to kind of quit my job and see how things went on the homestead with me having quit. And I feel like a lot of people are wondering if they should quit their jobs and run their homesteads. And so I wanted to give kind of a different perspective than what I think most people might be expecting. Quickly, last year, I got the flu and my mom got the flu. And it was really, really bad. I never had called off work. I worked there 10 years, and I wasn't one of those people that called off work a lot. But I called off work. It was a very bad flu. Well, my mom actually got that same flu so bad that she had to go on life support. And so it had been in the works, and Chris and I had been talking a lot about me quitting my job. And so we were, like everyone, it was hugely a financial issue. That was a big thing for us. But you know, sometimes it's the security of it all too. Having a job feels so secure. You know, you have something to fall back on. And I liked my job too. So that was a difference too. So I kind of like would want to quit, and then I would put it off, and I would put it off. And then when my mom went on life support, I was going to utilize the, you know, the Family Medical Leave Act. And as I started the process, I just started realizing that I was having to like leave my mom's room. You know, my mom is my best friend, and I love her so much. That was a devastating time for me. And so I was trying very hard to jump through all these hoops and get things faxed and email things to, you know, to the leave, to get my leave. And then having to wait on like them to send stuff to us to say whether they were going to accept it or not, and all this stuff. I just finally told my husband, I was like, I'm quitting. I was like, I think this is going to make me jump and quit. And he was all for it. My husband is extremely supportive. He's always wanted me to actually quit. So me working was all me. And so I took the jump. I actually, because my mom was in such bad shape and they didn't think that it was looking very good, I couldn't even do a 2 weeks notice, because I couldn't do a 2 weeks notice while I was on leave. So, and I didn't want to go back. And so if something was going to happen with my mom, I wanted to be able to take care of her. So fast forward, my mom made it through, as everyone knows, because she's in our videos all the time. And she actually moved in with us, and because I didn't work, I'm a little emotional, sorry. I could take care of my mom. And I actually, I got to nurse her through all her recovery, and that is a wonderful feeling. So that was a blessing right off the bat. I mean, as soon as I had quit work, I got to actually take care of my mom. I mean, it's difficult to take care of somebody. There's a whole slew of things that happen there too, but I did, and we got her back in her senior living facility months later. And so then I was able to concentrate then on the homestead, and I was already seeing the fruits of me quitting work, you know, with being able to take care of my mom. And so then that allowed me, for the first time in like 10 years, it allowed me where I could really concentrate on the homestead. And this year, we have had more harvest from our garden this year than I think we ever have. Part of that is because I am definitely the one with the green thumb in the family. I've got two. And but to be able to direct things, like I am teaching my children what to do in the garden and how to do these things, but you know, kids mess stuff up. And so me being involved like all day, every day. I mean, I was involved before. I did it all before too. I just worked. So my mind was kind of split, and that's hard. And so maybe for some of you, it's not hard and you can do it, and my hat is off to you. I did it for 10 years, but we really wanted to start taking our homestead in a different direction. And so because we wanted to take the homestead in a different direction, and have more, like a bigger garden with bigger harvests, and as you know, we got a dairy cow, and you know, there's so many things and there's so many facets, but I couldn't be bothered. I had an office and I couldn't be bothered. And so, but you know, cows get out, chickens get out, there's just things that go wrong. A water line has busted, you know, there's so many things that go on throughout the day, and I would have to wait until a break or a lunch hour or just whatever to address it. And then it was starting to feel like so overwhelming that I couldn't do it anymore. And I actually started developing migraines, and at first they started small, and then they became like every day. And so my body was telling me that something had to give, and we did not want to give up on this farm. We love this farm, and my parents lived at this farm before we did, and it's a blessing. It's been a blessing to be able to work in the farm and do all of these things. And so if you are thinking about quitting your job, I mean, of course there's things you have to think about, like, can you make it financially? I don't mean can you make it as well as you do when you work. So clearly having a second income is far more financially securing than one. And so when I quit, we definitely felt it, but I had to start budgeting really hard. I had to start figuring out what were we doing frivolously. You know, there were so many things, like we would buy things instead of fixing things. And we're even a homestead, so we even fix things a little bit more than other people do. But in that same breath, we weren't, because it was just like we had the money there, so we didn't have time, so we wouldn't fix things, we would just buy them. And so you sort of have to, when you work, you have to have that money flow coming through, and you have to have the time and money and all that stuff to fix things too. So when you're budgeting, it's not just can you meet your bills, it's think about your goals for the next 10 years. And can you financially swing all of these things? For us, we could. And so my husband, I love him so much. Chris actually quit his job and got a different job so that he could make up for my income. And I mean, like, I will be forever indebted to him for that, because it has allowed us to grow in a way that we never thought possible. And so, homesteading became so much easier. And I think that now homesteading is not easy. I don't want anybody to think homesteading is easy, but it became easier when I didn't have the job. So, and it became easier actually on Chris when I didn't have the job, because we both were having to get off work and work so hard at night. And it sort of affected everything. It affected our lives incredibly. And so I kind of feel like when my mom went into that coma and they put her on life support, it just put everything in perspective for me. You know, life is short. And then it also put it in perspective with my children. And so I have homeschooled all my kids while I worked full time. Yet again, that's another very hard thing. And they are very successful students. So I'm very grateful that God blessed us with smart kids who pick up really fast because I was working a full-time job and trying to homestead. So anyway, so now we are getting to do very fun things. All my kids are in sports through the public school system. I love public school. For us, homeschooling just worked better for us and our schedule and our farm and everything. And actually even for my kids, like it was just a better workout for us. So that has changed. Homeschooling has changed, and it is so nice. And I get to bond with the kids in a very special way. Whereas before it was just really just this horrible chore that I had to do, and I hated it. So the homesteading changed. But I just wanted to say that you can do it. I know we always end it with, if I can do it, anybody can. But this is actually true. I mean, of course, you have to take things into consideration, like your bills. But start thinking of, what can you shed? What can you hurry up and pay off? What can you do without? Maybe you have more than one car and you don't need more than one car. We only have, Chris has a car so he can go to work. And my son, Christopher, just bought his first car. Yay! But what do you need versus what you don't need? I largely have my groceries delivered, so I don't need a car right now. I'll have a car in the future, but like I'm not worried about things like that. Our kitchen, we took down all the cabinets, everything out of it, and we were making plans to remodel. And that's not going to happen. Definitely not this year. And you know, stuff happens. Something happened with our furnace, which we have a wood burner as well, but something happened with our furnace, and that came out of our remodeling budget. And so my kitchen, if you watch any of our recipe videos, like my kitchen is it's like bare walls. Like you see like wood and cement and cinder blocks and all this stuff in our kitchen, and like drawers that have no fronts, and we've had to set up tables in the kitchen. But those are just the sacrifices. We're a homestead. We're not gonna live like HGTV. I love HGTV though. And that's just the way it is. And so remodeling will come. It's more important for me to be able to run this homestead, take care of my kids, and like I said, you know, being able to take care of my mom was such a big deal for me. And so you have to start, I guess, analyzing what's important for you. And for everybody that will be different. So I just want to say that if you're considering quitting work, I would make sure that you can swing it financially and then take the jump. It's taken about 1 year where now I feel like I wanted to kind of address this to anyone who might be thinking about it. It is worth it. It is we're a year out, and the small sacrifices that maybe we make because we don't have my income any longer are minute. The fact that we can, take care of people that we love when they're sick, or just situations like that, taking better care of our farm, you know, different things like that. It's worth it. It is worth it. So if you're considering it, get your ducks in a row and do it. And you know what? Our ducks were not completely in a row. I was in the position of, you know, I thought my mom was dying. And so I made that jump because I just got to the place where I said, you know, family is far more important than money. And so I quit. and it was worth it. And so if you are considering it, make the jump. It's absolutely worth it. If you have any questions or you're thinking about this, we love to hear from you guys. We all actually sit around the computer and read your comments. We love them. We love that you are watching the video. Maybe some of you are in the city and you're just dreaming about homesteads or just curious about homesteads, that's okay too. We kind of love it from everybody, but there are so many caring people who watch this and they send us messages or they make comments on the videos, and we really appreciate that you watch and that you comment. Or there's like respiratory therapists or nurses or just caring people who get worried about some of the things that we do, and we greatly appreciate that. So thank you. It feels very caring and nice and warm. So remember, if I can quit my job and run the homestead full time, anybody can. Thanks. Bye.